How to start a hat loom hat. First off, you need a hat loom, preferably in the size that you're going to make, and some yarn. Normal, just basic yarn is a little bit thin for hats, so you could double it up, or you could use it. Your hat just will end up being a little bit thinner through here. Or you can use thicker yarn, your choice. I'm just going to show you basic setup for normal yarn. So you start with your yarn and you're going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you just loop the yarn around and then go through the loop to grab the long end of the yarn and pull it tight. And now this can slip and change sizes. Easiest way is to take your slip knot and stick it on this peg, because around the edge there should be a peg that sticks out. If there isn't, you could stick it on your first peg. Please note the top right one going around is your first peg. And we're going to come from the inside of the hoop, and we're just going to wrap around here. And you're going to go all the way around your entire hoop, wrapping around the top of the peg. You want to do this mildly tight, but not super tight, because you will need to be able to move this later. Figure out what a consistent tightness is for you and try to keep that for the entire time that you make this hat. So we're just going around all of these. See how I'm holding this vertical? This is easier than trying to do it on a flat surface. But if there's a position that feels more comfortable for you, then go for it. Okay, so I'm now to my final peg. I'm going to go around it. And then I'm going to be moving all these, but I don't want this to come undone. So I'm going to take it down here to where I've got my slip knot and just wrap it around a few times. And then I'm just going to bring all these down so they're no longer at the top of the pegs. Once again, whatever method works easier for you to do this, go for it. I like doing it kind of like so. There we go. Now I'm going to unwrap my yarn, and from the center I'm going to go around again, a second time around the whole hoop. Okay, final 2 pegs, here we go. Now that I've gotten around twice, I'm going to take my thread, my yarn again. I'm just going to wrap around this peg to keep it steady, and now I'm actually going to begin creating my hat. You should have a peg tool that came with your hat loom. If you don't, you could probably use toothpick or something like that, but it would be less comfortable. It doesn't matter how you hold it. I kind of like holding it like this. Once again, go for what feels more comfortable for you in your hands. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this bottom loop and pull it up over this one, and we're just going to make our way around the whole hat loom, taking the bottom loop up and over all the way around. Make sure it actually goes over the loop and over the peg and stays attached. Make sure you grab all parts of the piece of yarn as well. Sometimes you can grab a single strand of your yarn. Okay, I have made it all the way around. Try to keep your yarn from tangling around your pegs. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, once again, just lower this bottom row, or lower this row all the way to the bottom, all the way around. There we go. Then I'm going to take my yarn and wrap around the top of the pegs again all the way around. Oop, oop. Be careful, if you let go it will just pop back off. When I get to the last peg, I'm going to come around the outside peg here. I like to kind of wrap around my finger too so it doesn't go away. And now repeat with the peg to the right of there. Just bring your bottom row, lift it up over the top of the peg. Okay, I've made it all the way around. And what I've got is basically 3 rows now. And you're just going to completely repeat this process of pulling these all down, wrapping the yarn around, and keep going until you have the number of rows that you desire. Depending on what you're making, you're going to have different numbers of rows. You could make a scarf this way, which would be really, really long, and you can just go until you get to the length you want. If you're making different styles of hats or beanies, follow the pattern that you have. Will help you know how many rows you should have. Please note, once you've got at least 3 rows, your little slip knot here can be taken out so it can hang down here, because your hat, if it's scrunched up like this, is going to have problems for it to come down. Then you just keep going and keep going until it's the length that you want, and then you can end it.